There is 84 range coming in and 76 combat. Alright, so I've been crunching some numbers based on the amount of law runes that I've gotten since I started ranging the Moss Giants. And what I've basically come to realize is that I won't actually get enough law runes from getting 99 range at the Moss Giants in order to get 89 smithing. So the plan was, to get 89 smithing with the law runes from the Moss Giants, and then from there I would be able to use a rune scimitar to kill more Moss Giants with melee, and then get all the rest of the law runes that I would need to do whatever I want to do, and be totally good and never have to kill an Ankous. The problem is, based on the numbers that I've worked out, and I do think that I've killed, enough Moss Giants at this point to, safely say that I've got a good enough, sample size. But based on the numbers that I have, basically, if I get 99 range at the Moss Giants, I'll barely get enough law runes to get me to 85 smithing, which yes gets me the rune axe, but it doesn't, give me the rune scimitar, which is, what I basically need to get, because obviously I don't want to train more range after I'm 99 just to get more law runes. Now that being said, what we also have to take into account is the mage, right? Because I will most likely be killing ice warriors to get 99 mage, which will take a very long time, probably definitely longer than getting 99 range here at the Moss Giants. And we will get a lot of law runes from that. How much exactly, I'm not sure. I'm also not sure if it's enough to get 89 smithing combined with the 99 range here. So that's a bit of an issue as well. Now that being said, I will be using whatever chaos runes I get for Crumble Undead at the Ankous, which will give me a lot of law runes. But basically, what I'm saying is that based on my calculations, we might actually have to go to the Ankous at some point for a couple levels, and because I mean they drop tons of law runes, and it's still true that we don't need that many law runes. I mean, compared to an Ultimate Ironman, so we wouldn't have to spend much time in the Ankous, but we might actually have to end up going there for a little bit. And I'm probably going to try and now work out exactly, how many extra law runes we have to get, and therefore how long we have to stay at the Ankous and so on and so forth to get those law runes. But yeah, that does shake things up a bit. Okay, so after doing some more calculations, I've basically come to the conclusion that we need to get about 2.5 mil range XP at the Ankous in order to get enough law runes by the time we're 99 range to get us to 89 smithing, if that sort of makes sense, I guess. But I can do that, whenever I want. It makes no difference. And that should get us to about, so if we were to do that right now, that would get us to about 90, and then about halfway to 91 range. And I probably will go and do that now, because at least then you'll have some different content to watch besides me just killing Moss Giants all the time, I suppose. There is 85 range, which is a nice little milestone to get. So I decided while I was at it, I would just go ahead and use all the chaos runes I had in the bank for a bit of magic XP. I had a little over 2,000 chaos runes. It actually took a lot longer than I thought it would, because Crumble Undead's actually kind of slow to cast, and you have to do it all manually because you can't auto cast it, of course. So yeah, I just used it at the Ankous here, and we got a decent amount of law runes and stuff, I guess. But yeah, this is probably what I'll be doing with all the chaos runes that I ever get, basically. And we're at 67, almost 68 magic now, so we actually didn't get very many levels from that at all, actually. So honestly, magic's going to be quite slow to, if we ever get around to getting it to 99s can actually take an extremely long time, because even with Crumble Undead, it's quite slow, and then obviously most of the time we'll just be using Fire Strike. There is 86 range coming in. Alright, so unfortunately I just missed the level, but I just got 87 range, which is pretty nice, but I've got a lot more Ankous left to kill to get a lot more law runes. So now that I have 87 range, I can now go back to using bronze arrows finally, which is really nice because the iron arrows take forever to buy, and I have like 50k bronze arrows that I've just been buying for a long time. Right, so there is 88 range coming in, and this is what the inventory is looking like. I've been at the Ankous for quite a while at this point, as you can see. So some people were wondering if I'm ever going to train runecrafting on this account, which if I was going to train runecrafting, it definitely wouldn't be for quite a while. But nevertheless, just thinking about it, the thing is, you're not really supposed to do rune mysteries on an account like this that is a regular free-to-play Ironman, because if you just start it but don't finish it, then you can still mine essence and everything like that, but you'll be able to go back to the Duke and just keep getting more talismans, air talismans, whenever you want. You just have to just do the drop trick and you can just keep getting more of them. But because I finished the quest, I can't do that. And I believe technically that is the most efficient way to train runecrafting on an account like this, just making air talismans into air tiaras. So the thing is, I wouldn't really want to train runecrafting on this account if I couldn't do it like the most efficient way possible, because it would just kind of bother me to think that I'm not actually getting like full EHP out of the time that I'm putting in. Now that being said, I definitely will use all the essence that I get from these Ankous, which I won't get very much because, like I said, I'm not actually going to kill these to 99. I'm just killing them to get the extra bit of law runes that I'll need to get smithing. I'm not sure right now if I'm going to use it to craft air runes or body runes, because the thing is, I can craft air runes while I train crafting, and then I'm technically like not spending any time at all to get the runecrafting XP. Whereas if I do body runes, then I can get more XP per essence, which would be kind of nice if I'm never going to train runecrafting again, because the level will just sit at whatever level the essence brings me to. So if I do body runes, that'll be a higher level. The other thing is that apparently there's another method of runecrafting where you basically you have to spend 5 mil to buy the Edgeville respawn. You basically just kill yourself in the monastery with the scorpion, which is not members only for some reason, even though it's for a members only quest. And then you get full run energy, and it's like faster basically than just normally running body runes. So if that is actually more efficient than doing the tiara method with not finishing rune mysteries, then maybe I would consider mining a bunch of essence and doing that eventually. Either way, that wouldn't be until I completed like 89 smithing and maybe like wood cutting and fire making, fishing, cooking, and all that type of stuff. But I suppose it's something, down the road to perhaps consider. Also, there's a very strong chance that once I do finish killing the Ankous that I need to kill, that I'll take a very long break from ranging and I'll start doing the smithing grind, because at that point I'll have more than enough law runes to get 85 smithing, and then once I get 85 smithing, then I can take a break from that and do like wood cutting if I want, because I'll have the rune axe obviously at that point. So it could be a very long time before I actually do get 99 range. I might be sitting at like 90 for a pretty long time, but that's fine by me because I'm pretty burnt out on ranging at this point, to be honest with you. So the bank is looking quite a bit nicer than the last time every quarter, I think. And so firstly, the cash stack I think is probably quite a bit bigger than last time because I've just been selling iron plate bodies gradually still. The law rune stack is grown quite a bit as well because I've killed lots of moss giants and Ankous since the last time. And I think I also have a few more nature runes as well from the moss giants. I used all my chaos runes doing crumble undeads at the Ankous, so I don't have any more of those. As for the natures, I'd still plan to just keep building up the stack. I probably won't use any of them to get to 85 smithing, but I will use them when I'm going from 85 to 89 smithing, probably after I've already killed all the moss giants, so basically after I have 99 range basically, and I've got a really big stack of nature runes, then I will probably use them at that point because I'd like to use them possibly to set a smithing record on CML. So yeah. I'm still thinking about what to do with the unstrung symbols. Originally, I was just planning to sell them at the bandit store, which would take a very long time. Then I decided that I should wait until I get an equal amount of tiaras because then I can sell them both at the same time at the bandit camp store, which I still may do, but I hadn't considered just selling them to regular general stores because you can do that way faster because obviously there's many general stores in the world and you can just teleport around and sell them all. Obviously they don't buy them for as much. The bandit camp store buys them for high elk, whereas the general stores buy them for low elk. But I would possibly consider it worth it because it does take a very long time to sell the unstrung symbols to the bandit camp. So, and obviously you're not getting any XP and it's very tedious. And I just hate fucking doing it really. So I'll probably consider the difference of the amount of money that I'll get and decide if it's actually worth it. And even then, I still might wait until I have an equal amount of tiaras because it's still, probably more efficient. I'd still want to sell the tiaras if I ever did do some more crafting, which I don't really need to do, but I wouldn't mind doing it, and I might end up using this essence, which, by the way, I have more essence now, obviously, because I've killed the Ankous. I wouldn't mind going and doing some crafting to use all this essence and make it all into air runes if I decide that that's the route I want to go instead of the body runes, which I haven't decided yet on. And the iron arrows that's actually pretty big for the iron arrow stack, which I still need to get a lot more, obviously, but they're just such a pain to buy. Also, quite a few steel arrows. I'm not really sure when it's optimal to actually start using those because I do get quite a few of them from the moss giants, so I'll have to figure that one out. And I believe the addy arrows, which are also from the Ankous, of course, I think you start using those at level 98, so that'll be nice. And other than that, I've got quite a few teleport cards. I still need to do that today. It's kind of my daily, but I don't really do it very often. And then I finally got the reindeer hat because the Christmas event came around, so I did that to get the reindeer hat. So if I ever do wood cutting and then or fishing, then it'll be really nice. And it's also kind of useful for mining, mainly just to prevent people from crashing you, which is cool because that happens a lot. And yeah, that's about it.